Happy lunchtime, everybody in the Plant Empowered Woman group. I'm vegan coach Naomi, and I wanted to take 5 to 10 minutes today to address a topic that was asked about in the group on one of the live streams last week. And that is the topic of tofu and GMOs. So I want to just take like 5 or 10 minutes to go through this topic. So Deb Brock, one of the members in this group, she was on a live stream and she was asking, hey everybody, nice to see you on here. Let me know you can hear me and see me. Let me know that you're here. Deborah Ann, I am going to answer your question, but the original question that was asked was by another Deb named Deb Brock, and she asked about the new tofu that they're selling at our Publix. That's a Southern grocery chain that has a private label, Greenwise brand of organic products, and so they removed the Nay Soya brand tofu products and they replaced it with Greenwise tofu choices. So let's see who is here. Deborah Ann is here. June is here. Okay, everybody can hear me and see me. Scarlett, how are you? I'm going to answer your question too. So Deb asked about this new tofu at Publix, and the thing about it is that whenever I had in the past talked about tofu, I said you need to look for the USDA organic label, which is this right here, and you also need to look for the non-GMO certified label, and there's no non-GMO certified label anywhere on this package. And I myself did the same searching and had the same question as Deb, so then I was like, all right, I gotta figure this out, I gotta research this. So here's the answer to that. The USDA organic certified, and it looks like this, okay? And so on the USDA website, you can find out exactly what it means, and I'm going to read it to you so that you know. USDA organic products have strict production and labeling requirements, and they must meet these following requirements. So, any product that is produced without excluded methods such as genetic engineering, ionizing radiation, or sewage sludge, products that do not use pesticides and synthetic fertilizers, and a whole host of other disallowed substances. And so the GMO portion of that falls under this organic labeling. So that's why you can be rest assured that any product that has this USDA organic label on it is a non-GMO product. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know if you are clear on this. If you see the USDA organic label on your cereal, on anything that you buy, on your bread, any of the things, then you can be assured that there are no genetically modified ingredients in it, and that goes for tofu as well. Okay? So that's how you know that it's non-GMO. Either it has the USDA organic logo on it, or it has the non-GMO certified label on it. Okay? So that's the first part of this discussion. I wanted to definitely answer Deb Brock's question about the GMOs. So, and I will also put in the post comments, and also in the post, I wrote a blog post all about the health benefits of soy and reputable sources for you to go outside of what I'm saying to look about the medical evidence that shows the health protective benefits of eating soy. Okay? Hey Susan, how are you? Nice to see you. Yay! So that's that question. So Deborah Ann, who is on this live stream right now, she did type in the comments and ask, is tofu a healthy part of a whole food plant-based lifestyle? And the definitive answer to that question is yes. And I will put that additional post for you to be able to do your own outside research besides what I'm telling you right here. It has links to Dr. Greger's Nutrition Facts website. It has a link to the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine so that you can see that this has been reviewed and that this is the expert opinion of the plant-based community on that soy is a healthy part and a health protective part of a whole food plant-based lifestyle. Okay, so I'm going to give you the quick version of that, which is that tofu, which should only be 2 ingredients, which is organic soybeans and water. It is mixed, and it is processed and pressed. That's what tofu is. Now, tempeh is another good product that is like tofu, but you can actually see the soybeans and they're pressed together to make something that you can cut into strips, and you can saute them or bake them or grill them and do all kinds of things like that. So the reason that soybeans, tofu, and tempeh and miso are excellent ingredients to add to your whole food plant-based diet is because they are super high in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals, fiber, fluids, and essential fatty acids. Now, they are very high in a certain kind of antioxidants called isoflavones that only exist in soybeans, and other antioxidants like carotenoids, high in vitamin C. And so the other question that many of you guys always have is that you may have heard that they're high in estrogens. So let me put you to rest right there in just a couple of sentences. And then again, I want you to, when I put the part with the links to the reputable resources, I want you to read further so that you are confident in your own decision that the reason that tofu is health protective is because the estrogens in tofu are a plant estrogen. They are called phytoestrogens. Okay? So in the human body, we have receptors for all kinds of different estrogens. So what happens is, in the simplest terms imaginable, is that the plant estrogen attaches to the receptor and blocks the real harmful estrogens that your body is overmaking, that come from the environment, that come from the animal foods, and that come from being overweight, because fat cells produce estrogen in a woman and in a man. That's why they get boobs from animal foods and being overweight. It's not that they're the fat makes the boobs, it's that the increased hormone production makes the boobs. So the phytoestrogens bind to the receptor and block the real harmful estrogens from getting into those receptors and causing breast cancer and ovarian cancer and other reproductive cancers. Is that clear? That's why tofu is incredibly health protective. Now, I'm a breast cancer survivor, so you can imagine that I have researched this very thoroughly. I have contacted integrative oncologists, and I have been advised to add tofu to my diet, which I did 4 years ago. So let's see what people are saying and asking. Rhonda says she's glad we're talking about this. Yes, we need to talk about these things. Susan says, what about tofu when you're trying to lose weight? So tofu is, good question. Tofu is on the scale of high fat plant foods, tofu is in the halfway mark. It's not as high fat as eating handfuls of nuts, but it does have a medium amount of fat in it. It's not low fat or no fat. So I would say if you're trying to lose weight, then keep tofu to like 2 or 3 times a week instead of soy curls one day, tofu the next day, tempeh the next day, and on and on and on, right? And soybeans. So 2 or 3 times a week, because we want those health protective benefits. We want those antioxidants. We want those vitamins and minerals. We want the protein. soybeans are the highest in protein of all the beans. So we want those benefits, but we maybe don't want them every single day. Does that make sense, Susan? Because that's what I do 2 or 3 times a week. And let me just tell you, air fried tofu with peanut sauce and steamed broccoli and jasmine rice is the shit right there for a dinner. Am I right? All of you guys who know that? So I'm glad that you wanted to know all about that. If you're just joining me and you want to know why tofu is incredibly health protective, I just explained that. If you want to know about how to read the labeling and what it means that's on the tofu and how to pick a good one that is appropriate, then go back to the beginning of this when I'm done. So that's that about that. Now, I want to address this whole topic of GMOs because this is really important and this is something that nobody talks about. And I should really talk about it in the general public, but I'm going to talk about it here first, okay? Here's the deal. If you are interested in avoiding genetically modified ingredients, then you need to know that animal foods, which includes meat, poultry, fish, chicken, eggs, and all dairy products, every single one, including yogurt, all of them, are the most genetically modified organisms of foods in the world, okay? Animal foods are the most genetically modified foods in the world. Now you might be like, what? They're natural. No, okay, here's why. I'm gonna tell you why, so get ready. Did you know that, for those of you who are like, oh, I can't give up my eggs, did you know that chickens in nature, natural chickens that have not been bred for the industry, they only lay 12 to 14 eggs a year. Kind of like a woman's menstruation. She menstruates once a month. A chicken in the wild will lay 1 egg a month. So 12 to 14 eggs a year. Did you know that? So the chickens that we have, if you've ever seen any of the footage of chicken houses filled with thousands of chickens, have you noticed that they're all white? Have you noticed that all of the turkeys that we eat, they're all white, that are bred in the industry, right? Have you noticed that? That's because they've been genetically modified to breed only that kind of chicken, number one, a chicken that lays eggs every single day, number two, and a chicken that gets so fat by 14 weeks, while it's still an adolescent, it's being sent off to be killed because it cannot even walk. Its breasts are so fat. We've bred them like that. It's the most genetically modified thing that you could possibly eat, chicken and eggs. Okay? Let's talk about the dairy industry. So cows live 20 years, but a dairy cow only lives about 4 years. Did you know that? Did you know that a cow has to be pregnant in order to produce milk? And how do we get them pregnant? Well, we line them up, right? We keep them, we line them up, and we breed them specifically for the purpose of making milk or turning into meat. So we line them up on what's called a rape rack, and we artificially inseminate them in all sorts of disgusting ways, thinking about how do we get the semen out of the bull and how do we get it into the female, right? We do all of these disgusting things that in normal, if you were doing it to a pet, like a dog, it would be called bestiality. And then we take that calf away and we stick machines on the mother, and we take her milk and we put that calf chained to a hutch. If you've ever seen any of the footage of thousands of hutches lined up on dairy farms, because what are they going to do with these? Either if they're females, they'll be recycled into the dairy industry, but they have to come of age, right? It takes about 6 months. So they're chained in a hutch by themselves for 6 months. And if they're males, they're either shot in the head right then and there, or they're sold for the veal industry. And so that's just a couple of the reasons that cows are the most genetically modified organisms. So if you're still eating meat and dairy, you are eating GMOs all day long. And that's just my abbreviated rant on this topic. So let me know if you guys understand what I'm talking about. And then I want to move on to Scarlett, who asked about the different kinds of tofu. So now that you know that animal foods are the most genetically modified foods that you could ever choose, that people don't realize that those chopped up body parts and secretions of eggs and dairy that you're buying at the grocery store are not natural. That's not the way the animals are meant to be. We have Frankenstein modified them to be food, when really they are beings with thoughts and feelings and love and emotions and happiness and fear. They feel all these things. And so eating animal products is legit eating GMOs all day long. So I hope that that helps some of you overcome your cheese addictions or egg addictions or whatever you're crying about that you can't give up or that you don't want to give up. And I hope that you see it as genetically modified or rape rack or any of the things that we just discussed. So let's move on to Scarlett, who asked about the different kinds of tofu. So there's a lot of different kinds. One is called silken, and then there's medium, and then there's firm, and then there's extra firm, right? So for air frying and, air frying, grilling, and roasting, most times you will choose extra firm, okay? If you are making a sauce or a salad dressing, you will choose silken tofu. Depending on the recipe, if you're making desserts, sometimes it's silken and sometimes it'll be firm or extra firm. If you want to steam the tofu and you want it to be a little bit soft, which is lovely, you might just get firm or medium and give it a try and see what you think of it. So that's the explanation on the different kinds of tofu. Does that make sense, Scarlett? Let me know if that makes sense. And then in that same link that I referenced in the beginning of this video, where I show the reputable sources of the medical evidence for tofu being a health protective, important part of a whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating, I also have a very fun video called Tofu for Sissies, which shows you my favorite way to prep tofu, get the water out of it. You have two choices. You can either put a heavy pot on it under 2 towels on a plate. You could buy a tofu press. I like to do it Colleen Patrick Goudreau's way, which is freezing it and then squeezing it. Freeze and squeeze, and I show you the whole technique in that blog post in a video, and it's very fun. And so that's my whole thing about tofu. Do we have any questions? Let me know. Christine, nice to see you. It sounds like it's a rainy day in Washington, according to your emojis. Linda, nice to hear from you. Let me know if there's any additional tofu questions. And while I'm waiting to see that, Deborah Broxton also wrote in the comments that she was asking about the retreats. We have 3 retreats right now. Anybody who wants to know, please put it in the comments, and I will put a link to where you can see the 3 different retreats that are booking right now. They are all totally different. They're in different places with different adventures and different adventure levels, because I know not all of you want to hike 5 miles or climb canyons. Not everybody wants to snorkel. And so, everybody has different likes and dislikes and things like that. So we have 3 different vegan cooking and adventure retreats happening right now. They're booking right now. They all have limited spots, like 1 couple and a couple of singles, things like that. And anybody who's interested in hopping into the Arcosanti, Arizona retreat, It's getting to be the last minute. It's 6 weeks away. You need to buy your plane tickets right now. If you contact me as part of this live stream, I will work out a last minute discount for you. We do have a queen bed available in the shared dorm space and also a space for a single. And that's all we have left. And I would love for somebody else to hop in and experience this amazing trip that we have planned, cooking for 5 days, 6 nights in this amazing bohemian community. You've never seen anything like this before. And also hiking in Sedona. And I have a shaman coming to visit us, and we're going to be doing a big releasing ceremony. And we're going to be making the bells that fund this community. And we're going to be doing an amazing service project at Circle L Sanctuary and Ranch in Gotopia. And if you guys have seen my animal posts on Instagram or on my Facebook or wherever I post, I'm constantly with the goats. So Scarlett says, I made a big decision. I'm going to Arizona. I'm signing up today. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. If you sign up today, you will see that there is a pay in full perk, and you will definitely get that. That's definitely there for you. And you know what? Nan is going to pee in her pants when she hears that. She's going to be like, oh my God, that's so exciting. Scarlett, another thing is that we can work on a menu for you there, and you will learn some more cooking skills. And I think just being around everybody is just gonna just fire you up. So that's it for today. I am super excited to always help you guys learn more, even if it's like a little topic about GMOs and tofu. I like to hop on for just 10 or 12 minutes or so and just to talk about things and answer your questions. So I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you in the group. And you guys know that you can always message me via Facebook if you want to chat with me, if you want to talk to me about any of the retreats, if you want to talk about working with me, any of those kinds of things. Just go ahead and message me or drop that in the comments and I will message you. Okay? All right, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you in the group, and I will see you live at the retreats.